Morning guys, welcome back. I just wanted to jump on and give you guys a little bit of advice. This is kind of aimed towards hairy horse owners, specifically those who like to take their horses to shows or people who just want to have like really beautiful hairy horses. So we get asked very, very often, I'm just giving Blue a quick brush here by the way, while I'm chatting to you. So we get asked like really, really often, both in person and in our videos, how we get our horse's hair to look so beautiful. And I thought I would give you one of the tips that I found over the years for how we get our horse's hair to look so beautiful. And one thing that we've learned to do is to start a really good hair care routine in the winter. So normally by this time of year, most people are like, they're kind of like roughing their horses off for a lot of cases. I mean, ours are looking pretty roughy-tufty right now. Like there's not been a whole lot of like personal care going on with our horses over the last few weeks. They're looking a bit scruffy, a bit hairy, a little bit muddy, you know, it happens. But I kind of gave myself a kick up the butt this morning and was like, no, I need to start taking care of their hair now so that when next show season comes, they will actually be in good condition. So this is where we're at with Blue currently. So he had a really bad sweet itch episode a few weeks ago. We had some late midges and he rubbed this patch out completely. And as you can see, it's growing back quite nicely already. I have just put some sweet itch lotion. In fact, I'm going to put a bit more sweet itch lotion in there because it's a bit dry still. So this is just a homemade sweet itch lotion that I use. I don't tend to buy the shop bought ones anymore just because they're really expensive, like really, really expensive. And this stuff works. Oh, hang on. I put a new fluffy on my microphone the other day and I think I'm gonna have to give it a haircut because it keeps poking up over my lens. So sorry if you can see like a weird furry thing, everyone. But yeah, I use a homemade sweet itch lotion. So I'm just gonna rub that into his neck there. It's oil based, so I use an oil carrier. I'm currently using sweet almond oil and I add neem oil, which is great for skin health, great for hair condition. Also is a natural bug repellent, it's a natural pesticide as well, so it has that added bonus too. And I also add benzoyl benzoate, which is actually licensed as a scabies treatment, but it is also the active ingredient in pretty much every sweet itch lotion that I've ever bought, like ever. That always ends up being the active ingredient. So I put some of that in there as well. And that's basically it, that's our homemade sweet itch lotion. So in the summers, when it's warm enough to bath him frequently, and obviously when we're in peak sweet itch season, he will have a bath probably once a week with that kind of concoction in his shampoo. I don't bother putting the carrier oil in the summer, but I put the neem oil and the benzoyl benzoate in his shampoo, and he has like a slosh wash once a week in the summer. But in the winter, when his symptoms calm down a bit, I just make up that solution in some oil and it gets rubbed onto his itchy bits. Pretty much as and when required. He doesn't need a whole lot of it at this time of year. So yeah, that's what I'm doing there. So that's, it looks a bit greasy and gross, but it'll look nicer in a couple of days' time. And it'll condition his hair beautifully as well. So that's all nice and coated in that now. Are you enjoying this, Mr. Blueberry? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a hood on him. So I don't want him rubbing any more hair out. We need this hair to grow now. So we're planning on taking Blue showing in the new year. Probably not going to be starting until like March, April time, something like that. So we've got a fair few months. It's currently November now. In case anybody's watching this video at a time later than when I posted it, it's currently November. So this is when we start our hair care routine. So I want to make sure that we give the hair regular conditionings throughout the winter with, like I said, I use oil-based products that we make ourselves. And I'm going to cover it. So their mane is going to stay covered all winter. So his does and Woody's does. I'm actually going to cover Nellie's this year as well. We don't normally worry too much about hers, but she did quite a lot of damage to her hair this year, scratching. It was quite a buggy summer. So I'm going to go ahead and find a hood to put on her as well. And that's kind of how our horses will overwinter. They will overwinter with some kind of turnout hood like this. I find that the hoods on rugs do an okay-ish job, but some kind of like actual like fabric hood. Like these are the Snuggie hoods. This is actually one of their turnout hoods. We also have like the Lycra show hoods as well. Now the Lycra show hoods are the best ones. Like the Lycra just does something to the hair that makes it amazing and silky and wonderful. However, they're very flimsy, so they don't really work for you, do they, Blue? You just destroy them. It's kind of like putting paper on him. Like within a day, it's just shredded. So he wears the hefty, heavy-duty one. So I'm going to put that on him now. So this is the starting point of our hair care routine for the winter. And if you want your horses to have beautiful long mane, like Woody does, Woody has really good mane because he lives in a hood permanently. I've learned the hard way, just leave the hood on him. But he will trash his hoods. That's why we have to be a bit more diplomatic about when we cover him over, because otherwise it costs a fortune in buying clothes for him, which, you know, we're not made of money. But yeah, this is the time now when you want to start thinking about regrowing that hair. If you leave it till show season, then it's not going to regrow. And trust me when I say, putting no amount of like lotions and potions on that hair, giving them no amount of special fancy food is going to make that hair grow. It takes time to grow hair. So by protecting this now with a hood, and by giving it a good condition with some natural oils throughout the winter, hopefully come March, April time, this nasty little bald bit here should be down to about here. That's my hopes. And then what we'll do in the new year is we'll kind of like, we'll take the rest of his hair up a bit just to even it out. That's the theory anyway. It hasn't failed us so far. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of jump on and give you guys a really quick tip on that one. Because like I said, we get this question so often. And this is the starting point. Nourish the hair, cover the hair, and start doing it now. Like it's November, start doing it now. And then come show season, come summer, you will have much, much better quality hair and much more of it. You're stuck. Sorry, darling. Okay, there we go. So that's how Blue's going to spend his winter now. All hooded up. Now, obviously, his forelock is out here, and I'm going to have to monitor the situation with the forelock. He has rubbed a little bit of it out. But generally speaking, oh, my thing's got all fluffy again. Generally speaking, he doesn't do too much damage to his forelock. Woody is the forelock destroyer. Oh my goodness, he had such a bad mohawk last year. It was awful, and it's only just really started to grow out to a point where it doesn't look ridiculous. But Blue generally does not do too much damage to his forelock, so I'm not going to worry too much about that at this point. However, I will be keeping a close eye on it, and if he does start to do damage to his forelock, then he'll have to have like a full face hood like Woody wears. But usually that is sufficient for him. Right, I need to rummage through this box and find something for Nelly, but I think I got to go to work, haven't I, Taz? It's that time of day, I can feel my alarm going off in my pocket.